Welcome, this is the Global Climate Report for July 2011. It's been a very busy month with lots of extreme weather all over the globe. So let's take a look and see what's been going on. I'm going to divide this report into 4 parts. Part 1 is going to talk about global temperatures. Part 2 is going to talk about US temperatures. Part 3 is going to be about the state of the sea ice around the globe. And Part 4 is going to be a brief description of extreme climate events around the world. And at the end I'm going to announce the winners of our competition to forecast global temperatures for the month of July. So first let's take a look at global temperatures. Here I'm using the NOAA data, but any other data source will give very much the same results. These plots show the temperature anomaly for the land, for the ocean, and for the land and ocean combined, i.e. the global temperature. The land was the 5th warmest on record, going back over the last 130 years. The ocean was the 11th warmest on record, and overall was the 7th warmest July ever recorded in the last 130 years. So here are the results for the last 3 months, May, June and July of 2011. So we're going to set up the same competition as we did before and see how well you all do forecasting the land, ocean and global temperatures for the month of August. So enter your forecasts in the comments section below, and I'll keep a record of them and announce the winners in the next month's analysis. Now here's a map of the global temperature anomaly in June. Now let's compare it with what's going on in July. The heat is spread north and west in North America. South America is very similar to what it was before. Western Europe seems to have warmed up, as has Northern Africa. There's a large slug of Siberia that has cooled down, and Australia seems to have warmed up a lot more than it was last month. So the second part of this video will look at temperatures in North America. And as we did last time, to see whether there's a warming or a cooling trend, we'll compare the record high temperatures with the record low temperatures. If there's no warming or cooling trend, then these numbers should be about the same. If it's a warming trend, there should be more record highs set than record lows, and if it's a cooling trend, the reverse would be true. So let's see what the actual data says. So in July of 2011, there were 2,755 daily high records set and 6,171 nightly highs set, whereas there are only 770 daily lows set and only 445 nightly lows set. That is a ratio of 7 to 1 in favour of high temperature records as opposed to low temperature records. So that says there's a very strong warming trend going on. But I think the most interesting thing here is the disparity between night and day, where the nights seem to be getting comparatively warmer compared with the days. This is a key clue showing that the sun is not a factor in global warming, and is exactly what would be expected if we were increasing the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. In part 3 we're going to look at the cryosphere. In particular we're going to look at sea ice extent in both the northern and southern hemispheres. Let's start with the northern hemisphere, and we find that the sea ice has been at its lowest extent since records began, even exceeding the record year of 2007. Much more serious though is the fact that the volume of sea ice is at record lows. This not only means that there's less surface area covered, but the thickness of all the ice is much less. So this means we're losing a lot of sea ice very quickly. Lastly, we'll take a look at the southern hemisphere, and there things are not so dramatic. Although we're below average sea ice coverage, is not by a significant amount. In the last part of the video, let's take a look at significant climate events around the globe. Possibly one of the most significant climate indicators is the so-called ENSO, or the El Niño-La Niña cycle. For about the last year we have been in a La Niña, which is a cool phase of the cycle. But the last couple of months have shown neutral conditions, and there are indications that this may switch over to an El Niño or warming cycle. So the high temperatures we've been experiencing for the last year have actually been during a neutral or cooling period of the oceans. So imagine what they would have been if we had been in an El Niño. In the US we've had extremely high temperatures in the south and Midwest. Some parts of Texas have only been below 100 one day in the whole month, which is quite extraordinary. Meanwhile in South America they've been experiencing a winter rather like we've had the last couple, with heavy snow in areas that have not had it before. Chile has had 2 major snowstorms, one in the usually very dry desert areas and one right at the southern end of the country where they had over 6 feet of snow. On the other side of the continent in Argentina, they had flooding. Even in the UK, temperatures have been well below normal, leading to one of the coolest Julys on record. Meanwhile, in Somalia, a severe drought has caused famine and the death of thousands. The temperatures in Australia seem to have recovered after undergoing a very cold June, with every territory with above average temperatures. Two major typhoons hit the Far East, one hitting North Vietnam and the other one hitting China. A rare tornado hit eastern Russia, and deadly floods and mudslides hit South Korea. Now for the results of the June competition. The overall winner was Sheen Turpin 01, who almost got the exact values of the temperatures right. He should probably apply for a job at NOAA. 706 Wilson came pretty close too, and two others weren't too far out themselves. In fact, our average score here was pretty good. If you want to enter the August competition, enter your guesses for the land, ocean and overall global temperature in the comment box below, and I'll announce the winners next month. So that's it for today. Keep safe. Bye for now.